Hey guys, how are you? It's Arthi. Welcome back to my channel. And today is going to be my weight loss video. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about my whole weight gain and weight loss story and what happened to me. And I decided to put like a small timeline together where I'm just going to hit a few points. I don't want to dig too deeply into it because then I'm going to be talking forever. And it's probably going to be like an hour-long video. And that's why I guess I will just start a little bit with my childhood and then just kind of go on from there and just cover like a few points and share with you my story. Now, weight loss is like such a tricky thing or a tricky subject to talk about. I actually was not sure if I wanted to do this video. I went back and forth on it several times, and I just kind of told myself this morning, you just should sit down and do it and don't think about it. However it comes out, it comes out. All right, now let's start, I guess, with my childhood. Probably, I don't want to go too far back. I guess probably when I was kind of in my teen years, and then I'll just go ahead from there. Well, I never had a weight problem when I was a kid. I was always at a normal, healthy weight, and in high school I weighed 125, which is pretty average for most girls, I guess. And that was pretty consistent all the way through high school into college. And then when I got towards the end of college, between the ages of 22 to 23, was when I noticed that my metabolism kind of started to shift. That was sort of like the turning point for me, because before that age I could kind of eat and drink whatever I wanted. I mean, I could have like half a bag of potato chips late at night, or eat like a candy bar or two, and it would not affect me whatsoever. I mean, I was perfectly fine with my weight before then. And then during that like span of 1 year, I did start to notice like very slowly that if I had a lot of junk food or if I had too much fast food, that I would get like this little tummy bulge, or the next day I would wake up and I would feel kind of bloated, and it just started to impact my body little by little. And but that wasn't enough to really like get me worried or anything. I just kind of let it go as it was, because I was young at the time. And when you're young, you're not thinking about your health or anything years into the future. And then from that point up to about the age of 25 to 26, I would say I gained probably about 5 pounds, which, is not terrible. And I was still fairly young at that time and didn't really bother me much. And then after that, I got married, had my first daughter. And of course, with any of you ladies, if you have kids, like when you are pregnant, you gain weight, and then after you have your baby, it's going to take a while to get all that pregnancy weight off. It takes a year for some women. And after I had my first daughter, the weight actually came off pretty quickly. I would say, I think probably about 6 weeks after she was born, the weight was actually coming off pretty fast. I didn't have any trouble with the weight loss. I mean, and I was actually surprised because I had been told by people that wasn't going to happen. And I went right back down to about 127 actually, which was just surprising. But yeah, and I wasn't exercising or anything. It just came off on its own. Now, so after like about a year after my daughter was born, I went through kind of like this life-changing thing where I hit this, like, or I don't want to say, I don't know how to say it. Kind of hit rock bottom emotionally. I guess that would be like the way to really explain it. And that's kind of like the point where all the weight gain kind of began, because I had a lot of issues as a child growing up and had to deal with many, many ups and downs. And for some reason, after my daughter was born, I kind of saw a little bit of myself in her, and that brought up a lot of emotional issues and problems for me. And at that point, that's when I became a real big emotional eater and started turning to food for comfort. And food kind of became like my best friend, because how can you say no to chocolate donuts and potato chips and all the junk food and the snack food, because it's always there and there's always a steady supply of it. You can always get it pretty much when you want. And so that's when I started like just eating and eating and eating. That's when the whole cycle started. And after my first daughter was born, after I initially lost that weight, I probably gained in a span of a year, I think I gained about 15 pounds, a good 15 to 18 pounds after that. And I just slowly like started ballooning up, and I was up to about 140, when my daughter was still young and she was a baby at that point. And then after she was born, I had my second child, my third child, and the weight just kept coming and coming. It went down a little bit or fluctuated by a few pounds here and there, but it just, pretty much stayed consistent. I never, never tried to lose weight or anything during that period of time. And, I just kept eating through those years. A typical day for me would be, because I was working a full-time job, I would not eat breakfast in the morning, go to work, go out and get fast food like everybody did in the office. It would be like Wendy's, McDonald's, 2 or 3 slices a pizza for lunch maybe one day or whatever. Go home, have dinner, and then have like maybe a big bowl of ice cream or some like chocolate, like junk food or like chocolate bar, which I really didn't need to be having, but I would have it anyway. And at my heaviest, I was up to 151, which I guess, like, if you look at it, like, in a general perspective, I guess it doesn't seem like a lot of weight, but I'm barely 5'5", and I have a very small frame. My bone structure is very small, and 151 pounds is a lot of weight to be carrying on my body. I mean, for my body type, it's not good at all, because when I was at that weight, I was the weight was all like in the lower body, because I'm one of those women where I don't really gain the weight in the upper body. It all goes down to the lower half, into the tush and the thighs and all that stuff. So I kind of had like this pear-shaped figure, and I went up by a few jean sizes because I, at the beginning, was wearing a 5'6" jean, which probably, I'm trying to think in European sizes, I guess that would be about a 26, maybe 20, yeah, no, probably about a 26. And then I shot up to a size 12 jean. I mean, nothing was fitting me. I remember every couple of years or every year even, I was in the store, like getting a bigger jean size and updating my clothes, and everything was going from like small to medium to large. And at one point I was almost at extra large. I mean, that's how bad it was. And this went on for several years, and finally it got to the point where one day my daughter, my youngest daughter, was a baby. She was only 18 months old, and I was looking at her. I was like, oh my goodness, like, I can't stay this way because she's so little. She's, and if I keep going on this track, I'm going to be so overweight in 5 to 10 years or so. And I noticed also that my energy level was waning. I was not able to even go up a flight of stairs without getting out of breath. And it just was to the point where I just knew I could not stay that way anymore. And that's when I slowly started making changes in my diet, like making substitutions little by little. Like, I stopped eating the junk food, I stopped the McDonald's, the Wendy's, and all of that stuff. And then for lunch and dinner, I would have more greens and more protein rather than like the heavy carbs like bread and all that stuff. And then over time, the weight slowly started to come off. I started the weight loss in 2011, and I finished probably, I would say, about or midway through 2014. So it took a while. I mean, it didn't all come off right away. So, if any of you guys are in the process of losing weight, just know that you have to be patient with it, because it might take a little while. And then that, the next thing also too is that, if you guys are going to lose weight, first, remember that you should do it for yourself, and it should be about you loving yourself. Don't do it because someone else is telling you that, oh, well, maybe you need to shed a few pounds, or, you would probably look better if you lost 20 pounds or 30 pounds or whatever, because it should be for you. It should be for your own happiness and for your own health and what is right for your own body. Now, right now, how much do I weigh? Maybe you're wondering. I should have probably mentioned that earlier. Right now, I'm 127, or maybe about 130 if I have like a slice of cake one day. But yeah, but my weight has been down to that, and it stayed pretty consistent. It hasn't changed much. I mean, sometimes I still gain a pound or two, but this is my solid weight right now, and I have been at this weight for a few years, and I'm more conscious about what I'm eating and drinking. So I don't think I'm gonna gain weight again because my whole emotional psyche has shifted, and I just view food in a very, very different way. It's not like so much a friend of mine now. Food is more for nutrition and not, not someone to go and cry to. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, but that's my whole weight loss story, guys. I'm sorry if, I hope I wasn't choppy, or I'm sorry if I was choppy. I hope I kind of covered everything that I wanted to talk about. And, if it made sense, right? I hope for you guys. And so please, keep up your hope if you are going through a weight loss journey, and just let me know what you think about this video. Share your thoughts with me, and or tell me what you've been through, and so we can talk about it and have, a conversation. And I think that's it. So I should probably stop right now. All right, so that's it. I'll see you guys next time, and I love you guys, and I'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye.